February 9th, 3:43 a.m. Hotti Clinic, Intensive Care Unit. I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. Well, that explains why there was that, like, clearly sort of like hospital feeling he had in the, previous episode. It was like, why are you in a hospital? That makes perfect sense. He was reading up on that case during this. It's the first case my mentor, Mia Fey, had ever handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here? This isn't the Dahlia I knew. Because you knew Iris. That's where it's going. After falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with him. Somehow. February 9th, 2:43 p.m. Dusky Bridge. Now, as I was saying, like with Dusky Bridge, it's like the V shapes. Have I still got the thing? Yeah, the V shapes on like the actual like bridge segment do not match what we see here. Like there's clearly like parallel lines going across, and it's more square shaped. It's like that's an oddity in itself. Anyway, Dusky Bridge. Right. Are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face. Or maybe Viridian, in artist speak. You really gonna go with Viridian? Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature now? Only 102.2 degrees. Nothing to worry about. Depends which system we're using. If that's Celsius, that's an issue. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances. We're not in the clear yet, and yeah, now we're into the pulling like random nonsense out of nowhere kind of deal, I imagine. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the pointy blade thing, spiky blade, did not deliver the deadly blow. Which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about. Another sword, huh? Don't you worry about a thing, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat. Thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here. That face, look at that. That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into. And that is? Our client's background, naturally. You mean Iris, sir? I have the feeling that we've met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you, sorry, Edgeworth. I bid you adieu, right? Take care. Guess I should get moving too. Why? Do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side. That's right, Myra's still stuck over at the inner temple. Don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe. No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off. Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out. I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. Oh, don't... This thing, it's like, he's on his own, he's not got Maya with him, so I'm just wondering if that information's gonna be different. Now it really is more of Dusty Bridge than the Dusky Bridge. A kidnapping incident happened here 11 years ago, so maybe it's cursed too. Hazakura Temple doesn't have a single private phone line. And there aren't any houses in the area, so I guess Bikini is the only one who uses this. I really wish I had brought my cell phone with me. Yeah, it would have been a good idea. That thing looks like it's ready to collapse. At least more than it did before. According to Bikini, Eagle Mountain is very prone to earthquakes. Which reminds me. If my memory serves me correctly, Edgeworth isn't exactly a fan of earthquakes. Who is a fan of earthquakes? There's a narrow path going off in a different direction than that of the main hall. Looks like someone's taken the effort to write, "To Heavenly Hall" on the signpost. And looks like it's about 20 yards to that cliff over there. What, that one? I thought the one on the right. Yeah, sure, but that one? No, much further. About 100 yards. But I can't see the inner temple from here. I really hope Maya's okay. I think that's it for here, isn't it? Okay, let's move to... Let's go main gate. February 9th. Hazakura Temple main gate. Come on, please. It's for art's sake, I swear. There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here, the heroine in my book. I'll make you famous. Enough. A fool's fool fools fools who foolishly accept the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright? Huh? Me? Wait a second. I know you. You're, Wow! Your reflexes and mine need to shape up. My brain's frying like a sunny side up, and, you want to grill me over a name? Pansy, you can't do that. Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death. Or so I'm told. Whip a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings? No, it's not. And I'm not on the brink of anything. Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Franzie's Whippity Whip Whip Trip. Good. Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least a semi-coherent testimony. And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. I don't care what anyone says, I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you. Whoosh! Just like that dude with the red underwear. I don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize. Yeah, off he goes. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright. Let's examine the stuff here first. I'd love to know what that thing was used for on the night of the crime. Huh, still thinking small, I see, Phoenix Wright, or perhaps not at all. That's why you will never defeat me. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't recall ever losing to you. It's time for us to settle this once and for all with one final showdown. Looks like she mentally blocked out my victories over her from her memory. Yeah, that's worrying. This is one impressive gate. Compared to the grandeur of the main gate at the Von Karman estate, it's but a pet door. Looks really idyllic with all that snow on it, don't you think? All that snow? Don't make me laugh. This is but a light dusting where I come from. Don't make things up just because you think I'll never get to see it for myself. It's a quaint little bell tower. I never would have thought that something this horrible was about to happen. When Iris rang the lights out bell that night. Still nothing with the door. Very well. You can see the main hall from here. I wonder how the head nun is holding up. Oh, wow. Is that an inkling of human kindness I sense? Wow. Don't you enjoy causing... Or do you enjoy causing other people pain with that sharp tongue of yours? It's nothing compared to the pain you cause with that leathery whip of yours. Alright. I was gonna say examine her. Oh my. Talk. Franziska von Karman. Have you been in Germany all this time? That's right. Extending my perfect win record, naturally. Oh joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met? I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. Her father was the legendary prosecutor, Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years, but now he is gone from this world. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father. Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This I promise. But it will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear? Yes, Crystal. Today's trial. In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense. Edgeworth. Come to think of it. Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well. Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you. Because it does. And that's precisely why I am here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better. It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kind of cute. Wow, no smirking. No whipping the sick. That foolish fool. Doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool. Edgeworth. Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing, and one thing only. To pulverize you. It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some cold killer X, you know. Oh yeah, of course. Especially if it was laced with poison. What happened? I went over the whole case file on the flight over. You read the whole thing? Yes. Every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did made it a very interesting read, you know. Attempted to cross a burning bridge? Did you even consider the danger? No. The only thought in my mind was I have to get across. A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks. Gumshoe said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's got to be okay, I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the inner temple that night. Okay. Is there anything we can present? I don't think she'll tell us anything, but... about this. Yeah, I refuse to help you, Phoenix Wright. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Should have known better than to try. I mean, I did know better, but, you know, you gotta be sure, haven't you? Main hall. February 9th, Hazakura Temple, main hall. Right, okay. That was one long sigh. That was a sigh? Sister Bikini? My, I didn't know you were here. How are you doing? Look at her cheeks just wobbling. You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake. I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elise die, and then there's Iris as well. Mystic Elise? I think about it. There's an acolyte stuck at the inner temple. And that poor little girl has gone missing too. That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you? Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident. It's like she's at the inner temple, clearly. Pearl, she's missing. Why didn't anyone tell me about this? Yeah, why didn't they? Is there anything worth investigating here? I don't feel like there would be, but just be sure. It's a stack of straw Zabuton cushions. Maya told me this type of Zabuton is called Enza. I suppose if I'd never come here, I'd have missed out on all these new things. I bet the writing on these sliding doors are instructions for spirit channeling. Kinda like how we scribbled math formulas on the bathroom walls to remember them. Except we couldn't go to the bathroom during tests, and I can't read these walls. I've only seen a layout like this when I saw this really old Japanese movie on TV. This hibachi brazier really puts out a lot of heat. Just thinking about how happy we were sitting here eating pot roast and gravy. It's an altar. Looks a bit old, but someone does a good job of taking care of it. Speaking of altars, I remember seeing one like this in Korean Village last year. Yes, they really do have something to do with spiritual power after all. There's a laughably large Magatama on the altar. I can see Cyclops with the tiny Magatama I've got. I can only imagine what kind of power this bad boy has under its hood. What if that's something to do with Dahlia? Like it's calling her forth or something like that. It's just... that's the only thing I can think of, like, it's gotta relate back to Dahlia, and I don't feel like Iris is Dahlia. It doesn't feel like that fits. So... Iris. I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself. Are you talking about your performance at the trial today? Believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar, I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least, I was until this morning. I don't see any Cyclops, so she must be telling the truth. This thing, maybe it's what she did see, but there was other stuff going on, but she was Dahlia at that point. I don't know. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden? You know that artist who testified after me? I saw Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. Felt like I might start flying myself. When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had acted just like him when I was on the witness stand. I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble and nothing else. If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth, that can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. Yeah, it's like they're not lying, just they got things wrong. Inner Temple. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the Inner Temple. Is that correct? Ah, you didn't meet Iris at the Inner Temple, you met Dahlia at the Inner Temple. That's what's going on there. Because she would have looked like... Dahlia has pink hair, yeah, but if she, like, took control of someone else's body through the channeling technique, she would have the hair of that person. Like their hair color, right? The hair color doesn't change, it just approximates to what it should look like. So you would have seen Dahlia. That's right. I'm sure it was Iris. But Iris claims she was in her room in Hazakura Temple. She was. I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night. But because you did, Myra is stuck all by herself at the Inner Temple. I am so sorry. The drafts in that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad. I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know. Earthquakes? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall. We've got to get Myra out of there. Fast. But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island. It's like an island? How so? The only thing on that side of the bridge is the Inner Temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest. I see. So a criminal would be trapped, should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there. It means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer, with no way of escape either. Oh dear. Yes, I suppose it does. Please, Gumshoe, get that bridge up faster. At least doing him. I'm curious about a few things, if you don't mind answering some questions. Oh, do you need to know my measurements for your investigation or something? No. I want to know a little more about the victim, Miss Elise Duinham. I'm afraid I don't know her waist size or her bust size for that matter. No, I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training. My, you make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mr. Calise was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know. There, you did it again. Sister Bikini, I noticed you always refer to Miss Duanim as Mystic Elise. Oh! Yes, now why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte. We dress all our visitors as mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. And anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know? How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you? 5? Seems Miss Elise Duanim was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Pearls. She was with Miss Duanim on the evening of the murder, and now she's vanished. It's all got to be connected somehow. Oh, Pearl. Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in this mess? Please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together. Oh, man. My head's throbbing so bad it's killing me. Pearls, she was with Miss Duanim on the night of the murder, remember? Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we'd finished eating dinner. The murder? It didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either. Come on, keep calm. There's one place left where Pearls could be. She just has to be there. Yeah, she'd go to Maya. If there was an emergency and all type of stuff. You know, come on, Gumshoe. Tell me you'll be done with the repairs soon. Okay. Is there anything we can present? This crystal sphere. It's not from a demon-warding hood, but I would guess it serves a similar purpose. It's not from a hood, then I guess it really is from Miss Duanim's staff. Look at the blood on it. Oh, poor Mystic Elise. Honestly, it's like the end of the world. It's not a good thing, that's for sure. I think people have the gall to call this kind of scribbling by the name of art. I think it's quite good. Huh. That's the sort of standard you need to the arts these days. I could be a pop diva. Sure. But what about the contents of the picture? What do you make of that? It's definitely the end of the world. About this photograph. Oh, yes, those are our snowmobile tracks, alright. I know them anywhere. But there's only one set, which means the rider went out while it was still snowing and came back after it had stopped. That's really the only logical explanation, I suppose. Will there be anything there? I don't know. I was wondering about this. Let me see. And as you may know, in order to see reality for what it truly is, we strive to break our attachments to much of the transient material realm. Guess you could call me an immaterial girl. I'm guessing she makes an exception for the fine dining. It's Mystic Elise's staff. The crystal sphere really is missing from it. But the sphere was found near Dusky Bridge, right? Yes, even though I'm sure Mystic Elise was in Hazakura Temple the entire evening. Try to think, like, what else have we not presented to her? Like, we've done stuff through Edgeworth that I feel like we can't really get more information. Maybe that because of the drawing? Maybe eyes were playing tricks on me. I mean, Iris could never do such a wicked thing. But they proved it in court today, didn't they? But this sword wasn't the murder weapon. That's what they were saying, yes. The problem is, I saw it too. I'm sure that what I saw was this blade stabbed into Miss Duanim's body. was wondering about this. Let me see. Well, as you may know... I think, like, what else could we present? You must be very happy to have such a fine mentor. Mentor? No, he's just a friend. Oh, you naughty devil, always the joker, aren't you? He seemed like a lovely young man, like the kind you can always count on. Yeah, it's kind of depressing how much faith she has in him. You certainly have some unusual friends, don't you, Mr. Wright? Friends? That fancy-pansy painter is one thing, but whipping the judge is just bad form. Well, do you think you could go drill that into her head for me? Please? Okay. What a disgraceful young man. You've finally seen through him, huh? How could he sit there and claim he really saw what he drew in that picture? Although the portrait he did of me was rather flattering, I must say. Still, it's not like Larry to make something up that might get a woman he likes in trouble. There's more to that sketch of his than meets the eye, I'm sure of it. Yeah, there's two things that I consider wrong with it. Please tell me, what's going to happen to poor Iris? If she was to be found guilty, well, I wouldn't accept it. But your testimony, Sister Bikini... I can't help my testimony, I saw what I saw. It's up to you pro-lawyer like you, you pro-lawyer, lawyer, liar you, to deal with problems like that. What? How can I ever make up for this? Make up for what? For allowing harm to come to such an important person. So, I was right. Miss Doonan was just any old visitor here. Wasn't just any old visitor here. Or was, or wasn't. Who knows? It's all my fault, isn't it? It's all my achy back's fault. Now Mr. Khalees is dead and an acolyte is trapped inside the inner temple. And that poor little girl has gone missing too. Missing? I hope that's all it is. Oh dear, oh dear. Got to train to withstand more pain, don't I? I mean, meditation would actually help the pain. It doesn't make the pain go away, it just makes you deal with it better. So it's like, I would suggest that to anybody who has chronic pain, by the way. Again, it will not make the pain go away, but as we know, pain isn't actually an actual thing. It's the brain's interpretation of signals from certain things. So if you can learn to meditate, learn to relax and stuff like that, you can deal with the pain in different ways. Like your brain will be able to deal with it better. It's like, I'd suggest looking that up as an idea. Again, if you have chronic pains and you can't get rid of them and stuff like that, it's still take medication and stuff like that is the best way of putting it. It's still take painkillers to get rid of the pain, but in terms of dealing with it and stuff like that, meditation can help. I would recommend it. Yes. I mean, I speak as someone who has a really painful arm half the time. You know. Let's see about pearls. Oh dear. I wonder where on earth this little girl has wandered off to. She's nowhere near the main hall, that's for sure. First I lost Myra, and now pearls. How much more pain is this case going to cause me? Not to mention this fever is giving me a killer migraine. Oof. Oof, mate. Oof. She's a very important visitor, you know. An honored acolyte. She is. Do you know her or something? The Fae name is synonymous with the Korean channeling technique. Therefore, she must be a spirit medium of great power indeed. Looks like Bikini is in the dark. She doesn't seem to know that Maya is the daughter of the Master of Korean. Okay. Courtyard it is. Every 9th has a Kura temple. Courtyard. This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so maybe there are some clues that have yet to be found. The main gate's on the other side of that stone wall. The difference in elevation is almost 10 feet. That's how steep this hillside is. That's also the height the body fell from, according to the autopsy. So was it thrown over the wall? It's possible that Miss Doonan was pushed from the top of the wall. Yeah. We get quite a bit of snow up here on Eagle Mountain. Around here, skis aren't just for fun. They're tools for getting around. But sled... Oh, that's gotta be for Bikini's own personal entertainment. The pointy sword is there in Mystic Amy's right hand. But it was proven in court today that it wasn't the murder weapon. Given the design, it must have been used for some pretty gruesome things in the past. Yeah. No clues here. Miss doing him stuff. I definitely remember there being a crystal sphere attached to the staff. I guess Larry eventually found the sphere near the foot of Dusky Bridge, but what was it doing all the way out there? There are a few of these stone lanterns scattered around in this courtyard. About the city glare to compete with, I imagine they would seem a lot brighter. Guess Sister Bikini must light them now since Iris can't be here. Okay. The building up there is the main hall. It was where we were staying. It's kind of funny because it was built on a very steep slope. If you enter from the main gate side, these rooms above me are on the ground floor. Apparently Miss Durden was staying in the corner room. Guess that's where she was pushed from that night. Or it was the wall. No. Alright, so let's head back to the main hall.